We're live. Okay, let me pull up Netflix. I've had a long day, guys. I'm so tired. I was on set today, so ah, just started right away. Okay, we're on episode 16. Oh, I didn't even realize that we were on the finale for season 6. Last day on Earth. Okay, I'll hang around a little to see if any of my crew shows up. The synopsis for episode 16 says Rick and the others weigh their options when a high stakes mission to Hilltop proves more complicated than they expected. Oh no. Hi, Sherry. Yay, Sherry's here. Sherry, I'm waiting for our crew. I haven't seen anyone yet. So I'm gonna give it's now 8:09. I'll start at 8:15, Sherry. It's the finale. I didn't even realize it. It's episode 16 of season 6. We're finally over with season 6, but oh my gosh, we're going into season 7. Oh, Sherry, what episodes do you want me to do? I'm not a fan of the Negan show. So I'm still debating. I'm seeing people put in their suggestions of what I should watch, what I should react to live. And I don't know. What do you think? What do you think I should react to? I think you had said just do the Rishon episodes, but I don't even know which ones are those because I just clocked out during this part of the seasons, and I think I just like watched clips whenever Rick and Michonne featured, so I don't even know the episodes that they're in per se. So you guys would have to tell me. The one where she convinced Rick to fight the saviors, isn't that season 8? Is it in season 7? Oh, and the honeymoon episode. Yes, we definitely have to do the honeymoon episode. I don't even know if that's season 7 or season 8. Yeah, well, I don't know. So The episode she convinces Rick to fight back, and the honeymoon episode comes after that because that's when they went scavenging for guns. What's that noise? Oh, it's a cop car. So when they went scavenging for guns, so that's after she convinced Rick to fight back. So, hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it's season 7 or season 8, to tell you the truth. Season 7 is a blur to me. Mm-mm-mm-mm. What time is it? 3 more minutes to go. So it will be you and me, Sherry. Oh, Jadis, when Jadis tried to get Rick. Yeah. You like that episode? The junkyard just didn't, the that people group just didn't make sense to me, and I didn't particularly, and I just didn't enjoy this part of the Walking Dead. The expansion, the kingdom, the junkyard, Hilltop. Oh my gosh, Hilltop is such a bore. They love to act as if Hilltop is just this one, just, advanced and awesome community. It's such a bore. Alexandria is so much better than the Hilltop. And yeah, Hilltop, Alexandria, the kingdom, the junkyard, the saviors. I think at the same while this part of The Walking Dead was happening, it was running concurrent with with Game of Thrones, and I think Robert Kirkman was writing the comics to expand the world, like how Game of Thrones had the different factions and kingdoms. At least I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I guess that's what happened because he I guess was a great fan of the show, but the communities just seemed mm, too fantastical. Yeah, not not based in reality. The Hilltop, yeah, but Junkyard and Kingdom, yeah. You answered me, Sherry, but I didn't see. Well, let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to see I don't see the chat with the horizontal view. So I'm trying to see if it will stay up. It won't. So I have to go to my other phone to try to see what's going on. So it's past 8:15, Sherry. I'm gonna start in a few minutes. Let me just get the chat up so that I don't miss what you said. Because Sherry said you didn't enjoy the kingdom at all, not realistic. Yes, I agree, Sherry. Hold on. I want to see what you wrote before that because the chat is not staying on the screen for me. Ah, there it is. Sherry says, I like the fight scene with Michonne and the group fighting the saviors. And you did not enjoy the kingdom. Okay. All right. So let's start. Oh, we have someone else joining us. Hopefully it's one of our fellow members. If not, hi. Say hi if you want. Oh, last day on earth. There's Morgan. Oh, you are alive. It just went straight into it. He sees a horse.
Hey. Hey, boy.
Just standing there waiting for him. How convenient.
Oh, you're fine. You are fine. Hey. Hey, come here. You are alive.
It's a long episode. It's over an hour. Whose boots are those? Oh, the guy that one of the saviors that Carol had encountered. Oh, hi, Cam J. We started. Who is that running? Oh, he's running from the saviors. We just started, Cam J.
Still not back. I need to be there for Maggie.
I said no.
Carl.
You were wrong before. This place isn't too big to protect. You need to stay back and help protect it.
This place is ready. Most of us have been trained. You know that. If you were worried about an attack, you wouldn't be leaving.
You know how far the hilltop is? You know what could happen?
Hi, MH.
Those saviors are out there. You know what they did to Denise? What they tried to do with Maggie? And to Carol? To Daryl? To Rosita? To Eugene? That's not happening to you. Right? I'm not gonna let it.
Where's Rick
Any
going?
change?
This is getting worse.
Good call on the transport.
I figured she'd be more comfortable. It also means you got room for more. They're out there, so I'm going to be there with you. We are.
Package deal.
Oh, what she?
Abraham should have stayed home. If Abraham had stayed home, he would have been alive. Oh my gosh. Abraham and Sasha should have stayed home. Let Rick take her to the hilltop. They wouldn't have done anything because they needed one. Oh, they may have killed Maggie. They maybe would have killed Maggie. Do you think? Or I don't know. Because the one they killed, in essence, he would have left Rick alive to, I guess, because Rick had submitted. So I don't know who the saviors would have killed if Sasha and Abraham had stayed. Oh, they probably would have killed Daryl. That's who they would have killed. Hi, MH. Did I say hi? Oh, he doesn't kill women? Oh, okay. Oh, he keeps them alive to use them. So, yeah.
You want to run into him, right? You hope they show up. Jesus, this is about getting Maggie to a doctor, not about
Why is why is what's his name? Carl so I mean angsty. I say, hi Rashida. I think they were expecting the saviors, but R- Carl's reaction seems over the top because he had not encountered any of them. Had he? I don't remember him having encountered any of them yet for him to be so the saviors are, what they did to such and such and such, and I can't let them do that to you and whatever. I know he knew danger was coming, maybe because of his experience with the governor, that he is prepared or expecting the worst. So I don't know.
you. I'm going.
Enid, stop. Just wait.
Look, it's a long trip, and you're just getting
It's a
over.
superficial graze. Proteins are binding. Plus, we need to discuss ammunition production and manufacture, so let's roll.
I already tried. Give him an inch, taking a mile.
I'm only asking for 23, give or take, depending on the route. I know I could be of some help. Now's the time, here's the place. Don't shine me. I'll be your anchor man. Yes, I damn will.
Why the face? I hope you're not putting this on us. When we showed your people a way forward, we gave you rules. You broke the rules, so folks had to die. The one who fired the first shot, we strung him up to make an example of him. Could have stopped there. But you people still didn't listen. You wanted to fight us. So this is how it has to be.
Get out of my way. Carl!
Just grab some pistols from the closet. But hurry. We gotta go now.
Carl!
He locked her up in a closet.
No, no. Oh, oh, no. Please don't. No, please, no.
Just I can't stand the savagery, the violence, the just everything that comes along with the saviors and their storyline. I don't find it entertaining. And so just hearing that man begging for his life, the brutality and how these people operate, we're going to be seeing that over and over again. I'm just not looking forward to that. But another thing is that it's the end of the world. We have a boogeyman, we have a monster, we have people, the literal dead coming back to life and walking the earth looking to eat people. And this is what some people, human beings, are spending their, you know, they escaped being zombie food. And that's what they're doing with their time. Instead of trying to survive and, looking for ways to survive and help each other, they're looking to continue um, to oppress and destroy others. It's just, it tells you the condition of humanity, and sometimes we look and we think that, if we just try to do right by everybody, people will want to work together and help each other and live in a society that's fair for everyone. But as we see, that's not the tendency of a lot of people. Just people looking out for themselves, and then people who cannot feel good about themselves unless they are above or destroying others. And that's what we're seeing with these degenerates, the saviors, and led by their hero degenerate Negan. And that's why I'm really not pleased with AMC and some of the producers who insist on making Negan an anti-hero and someone for they want the general audience to root for and support, right? Because he represents that type of thinking, that type of society, that type of um, worldview. And as we see, we already have that in the real world. We've had it throughout history and we have it in the real world. And only a few thrive. And when I say a few, a very minimal amount of people in relation to the population of the world. Only a very tiny, tiny, tiny few thrive in that environment. And for them to want to or to push characters like Negan and the saviors as aspirational is irresponsible and shows that they are it shows that it's their worldview. Because why would you continue so hard and valiantly in the face of failure to push a character that the general audience keeps rejecting? Rashida says, just like the claimers and the wolves, the saviors no doubt couldn't wait to go feral in the zombie apocalypse. A great example. I didn't even, yeah, the claimers and the wolves are a great example. And the governor, they just couldn't wait. They want environments like these. There are people today that wants the environment that is fostered here, where civilization devolves and laws no longer exist, or laws are no longer obeyed, so that they can do and get away with what they do, that there's no accountability, so that people can take advantage of the vulnerable and anyone that they deem weaker than themselves. So that, yeah, and I understand why the general audience clocked out. It's not fun. And it's so interesting with the movie Wicked and Wicked for Good. A lot of it, the story revolves around a fascist organization, and people didn't enjoy the second movie that well. I enjoyed it for what it was, because I was there for the the political leaning of the movie. And one of the things that the first movie did so well, it showed someone under the oppressive system breaking away and fighting for becoming a revolutionary and fighting, standing up for herself and fighting for others that could not fight for themselves. And people cheered that, and they were excited to see how she would go, what she would do, and they were rooting for her to triumph. And they were, the first movie ended on a very powerful note with her being celebrated, and there's people, the audience celebrating and behind her saying, yes, she's gonna fight back, and and we're with her. So they went in with anticipation for the second half. And the second half was actually a they actually, at least the second movie, the second part of the story, they chose to highlight one of her, one of you know how society propagandizes someone who doesn't have certain attributes, and to the one that's fighting back has all the attributes, the good attributes, and they take society, the media working for the fascist regimes takes the the good things of the one that's fighting, takes the good the values and the attributes of the one that actually represents good, and puts it, propagandizes, creates a fake good person, a fake person to look up to, and takes the true value from the person who is actually with the people and fighting for the people, and takes it and puts it on a propagandized figure to say, ah, look, right? Well, the actual m- um, movie, they actually celebrated, they showed that that's what happened, but in the end they celebrated the one that didn't have the goodness, that didn't have the power and the goodness, and they took away. So the story was supposed to show that, and yet they had the person that was actually good and fighting for everyone but was propagandized to be shown as evil. They had that person lose, they had that person exiled, they had that person give her power to the fake one, and the fake one got the power, the people's adoration, didn't get exiled, got to rule the kingdom. So it was like a wet noodle ending, you know? And when I said I didn't hate the movie like so many people did, but I could see why the general audience went in and said, okay, what is the fighter gonna do? And the movie just focused on the propagandized figure, and they boosted her story and sort of made the movie an ode to her and marketed her. Yet it's the opposite of the message of the movie that they were trying to tell. So I I wasn't shocked at the reception and I of the movie, and it just shows you, even in trying to show us what really goes on in society and what we should be recognizing and rooting for, the producers of the movie fell victim to the same thing. And and it just i- here with The Walking Dead, the producers want to show the saviors, uh, you know, these fascist, feral, degenerate, groups of people oppressing people who are just trying to survive and live in community, and they turn around. That's the message of the show, and they turn around trying to prop, and yes, that's the right word, thank you, Rashida, trying to prop up the evil. And and it's while the show is telling us one thing, they are actually trying to help the evil triumph. And I'm just like, and want the audience to root for the evil. And I was just like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? It's so, I was just like, human beings, they can't help it. They can't help wanting to embrace power and wealth, especially when that power and wealth is gotten by ill-gotten gains. They don't mind it because they wish it's sort of exposing, like, people wish they can do, they don't have a problem with evil and evil triumphant. They just don't want evil against them, and they have no problem switching and joining with evil, as long as they're the ones doing the oppressing. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh boy. I went off on a tangent I didn't think I would, but it's just seeing, I'm not being entertained by this. Watching Trevor and the Saviors just do evil. And this was what The Walking Dead was feeding and excited about, feeding the audience and getting excited, ooh, Negan, yay, and thinking that people want to sit and absorb that and celebrate that and root against our heroes. And for years now, Negan destroyed The Walking Dead, AMC's most successful show. And instead of concluding his story and moving on, they're still trying to get the audience on side. They're still trying to get the audience to root for him and to support him as the anti-hero and to follow him. And they lost ratings, they lost profit, and yet they're still holding on to this character and this wanting people to embrace this character. It makes no sense. Well, it makes sense to me. It just exposes more humanity's thinking. And yeah, Negan killed The Walking Dead. Negan killed The Walking Dead. Because watching it now, I'm like, this is not entertaining. Just watching what Trevor is doing. That's not entertaining. And uh, The Walking Dead lost half of its audience in season 7. Can you imagine that? They were getting 15,000 thousand 15 million and more, 18 viewers per episode. And they threw that away. And then even then they kept, instead of correcting course, they started to try to villainize Rick and our group, to say that they're the same, and so Negan isn't really bad. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna continue playing it, but it's just I'm not enjoying it. Rashida says,
What happens if you don't come back? How am I supposed to live with that? What the hell am I supposed to do?
Just survive somehow.
just survive somehow. That's Carl told her. Let me read quickly what you guys said. Rashida says, like you said before, there are small-minded people who are watching The Walking Dead, but they're not going in depth on the show the way we are. MH says, a lot of people root for the villain. I don't understand it. Rashida says, MH, those people wish they were the villain. Exactly. I agree, Rashida. And Sherry says, cheer for the villain. Sorry, not in my nature, especially if there's no redeeming part of the groups. I agree, Sherry. It's insanity. I just don't get it. I get it, but I
We're ready to protect
I
this place.
refuse to join in
Savior's
with
not.
it. That's what
That's
I
why they
mean.
grabbed Eugene.
Look, it's not up for discussion.
You're just gonna have to punch me in the face and tie me up again. Because that's what it's gonna take to stop me.
Aaron was with the group? He wasn't with the group. Was Aaron at the clearing, guys? I don't remember him being there.
We have 24-hour shifts set up on each of the watchtowers. Each one of them fully supplied and ready. In the case that we're incurred upon, we have drivers assigned, evacuation and distraction, and the rendezvous we discussed. In the event of any emergency, my first priority is Judith.
Rick has taken too many of the group.
Are you comfortable leaving me in charge of Alexandria's defense?
Yes.
Rick says yes.
Hey, Rick.
He shouldn't have taken so many
If the
people with him.
saviors do show up, I don't know. I'm thinking if it's not too late, should we try and make some kind of deal?
Tell him to wait for me. I got a deal for him. Let's go.
Wow, Rick is so cocky here. Tell them to wait for me. I have a deal for them. Oh my gosh. Look at Gabriel. He's standing like a soldier. Rashida said Aaron was at the. Why do I have a heart covering what you said? Was at the lineup. I don't remember him there. Wow. Morgan found Carol, and she's going to be so ungrateful for him helping her.
Hey. I told you not to come.
And I'm gonna start listening to you real soon. Hey, let me see.
It is Rashida because it blocks what the words. I can't read it.
This is us about to make an example out of you. My people.
Cam J said, "Oh brother, these two. I'm gonna make some hot cocoa while they're on screen." Oh boy, yeah. Just seeing them makes you annoyed because you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna be, you know, like insulting him, and he's gonna smile and take it and try to help her, and she's gonna be ungrateful, and it's just gonna make him want to serve her more, and then a whole bunch of people gonna join into doing the same thing. Please get them off my screen. Rashida says, look at this scene. Superwoman injured Carol and Morgan finds her. You know she's gonna be ungrateful. Yeah, that's the word, ungrateful. Yep. Their screen time was the heart blocked what you said, Cam J. I can't. Their screen time was short. Okay. I wish it was like that for the rest of the series. And such a shame. Morgan was such a great character in the pilot. And just to use him to serve her storyline, what a waste.
Everyone at the library, they're dead.
I'll skip the intro. It's a long episode, guys. Just like it's a long season, a long 2 seasons. I was just gonna ask a stupid question. I was gonna ask, where's the doctor?
We're gonna get there.
That's right, they're going to Hilltop to get her.
Hilltop.
Their doctor at the Hilltop.
It's gonna make things better. Hey.
How'd you know?
here together. We're still here. Things have happened, but it's always worked out for us because it's always been all of us. That's how I know. Because as long as it's all of us, we can do anything.
Why do they have Rick talking?
Walker, it's hard to get what's going to, but I'm too busy pleading.
Pressure should help, but you need stitches. Antibiotics to make sure you don't get an infection. Be dark in a few hours. I'll walk the camp, make sure we're safe for the night. And at dawn, we will head back. Get you some help. Okay?
No.
Oh boy. Who wrote it? So Nicotera directed it, but who wrote it, Rashida? Do you know? Who wrote the episode?
What the
Because they had Rick speaking poetic, which sort of makes me think it's Gimple, because there's a Gimple speak where the characters don't speak like normal people. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the character saying stuff like what Rick just said to Maggie. And then in The Ones Who Live, I love that um Gimple helped, Gimple worked with Danai and Andy to come up with the story for The Ones Who Live. And I love that he had a meet cute at the beginning of The Ones Who Live, where Rick dreams of Michonne in a non-apocalyptic world. He dreams of falling in love with her, meeting her as a different person each time, and he falls in love with her. So I give Gimple the credit for that. He was the one that came up with that. But he is not a good writer, Scott Gimple and Matthew Negret. So Scott was involved. I bet you when I heard Rick talking like that to Maggie, I was like, that sounds like a Scott Gimple script. So thank you, Rashida. So that's not Gimple's strengths. Gimple comes up with great concepts, but his strength is not dialogue. And that's not to pat my own back, but I wouldn't say I'm good with dialogue. I tend to write a lot of dialogue, which can be a bad thing because it's show not tell. With the TV and movies are visual media, so you want to show it. So you don't want a lot of dialogue where it's not necessary, but Gimple has his characters not sounding real when they do dialogue. And I'll give you another example. In The Ones Who Live, this is it's a show that I love, and it's brilliant, gorgeous. I love it, love it, love it. But if I was to nitpick anything, is that Gimple Speak also came into the show, like in the finale, where Michonne and one the person Michonne was fighting kept saying stuff. And I was like, why is she speaking like that? That's not normal. And then Michonne answers with, love doesn't die. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Gimple. Even if I don't know if he wrote the sixth episode, but he had some influence because the characters were not speaking. Yeah, yes, those were the two Rashida, but I'm avoided saying it because I don't know if anyone's watching the live that didn't watch the ones who live yet, so I don't want to spoil them. But the dialogue sounded more like like someone is trying to write the dialogue Shakespearean or trying to be poetic, and real people don't speak like how Gimple writes characters speaking. So Rick's little monologue to Maggie was just, yeah. Oh my gosh, what happened? I was just looking at the chat and it disappeared. Oh my gosh. It's the reason I'm looking at doing it from the phone, and it's okay. The live chat is back. Okay. For episode 6, Rashida, Scott Gimple, and Channing Powell. Oh my gosh, I was so right. I told you guys. Yep, that's Gimple speak. He's oh my gosh, thank you. So he wrote up, I could tell that's not how people speak. You notice in episode 4 with Michonne, that Denai wrote how Michonne and Rick's dialect were so real. That's what people would say. You know, how people would argue, how people would, it's just that's Gimple's weakness. He doesn't know how to write characters speaking realistically. And it sort of hampers the episodes. So he great concept, great, um what he wants to happen in the episodes. Great, he does that well, but dialogue, he should always give another writer to write the dialogue for him, because he wants his characters to sound like they're on a stage play, like they're doing Shakespeare, and it's not as good as
We're
Shakespeare's
doing this.
dialect.
No.
Abraham, I like Abraham so much now, so much on the rewatch, and it's just such a waste that he went out here. It's just, mm,
He's someone who was with a whole lot of someones who didn't listen.
We can make a deal. Right here, right now.
That's right. We can. Give us all your stuff. We'll probably have to kill one of you. That's just the way it is. But then we can start moving forward on business. All you have to do is listen.
Yeah. That deal's not gonna work for us. Fact is, I was about to ask for all of your stuff, only I'm thinking I don't have to kill any of you. Any more of you.
Sorry. My deal is the only deal. We don't negotiate.
Me and my people are leaving.
Okay, friend. Plenty of ways to get to where you're going.
You want to make today your last day on Earth?
No, but that is a good thing to bring up. Think about it. What if it's the last day on Earth for you? For someone you love? What if that's true? Maybe you should be extra nice to those people in that RV, because you never know. Just like that. Be kind to each other. Like you said. Like it was your last day on Earth.
You do the same.
It's just, oh my gosh. And you can see it there. They're just setting up Rick's humiliation. That's to me, it's not entertaining. You can't take your hero. You can break your hero down to build him back up, but I think The Walking Dead took it too far in trying to humiliate Rick. You know, they weren't trying to they didn't bring him to his knees. They tried to repetitively humiliate him. That's not enjoyable either. MH says Glenn was going to die anyway. He died in a graphic novel. Negan said in one episode that he was determined to kill Abraham because he was big and like a powerful force. That's why I said I wish Abraham had stayed, him and Sasha,
Why didn't you stay back
because
and help guard the place?
Abraham, he wouldn't have been in the clearing for him to kill. But maybe when he went to Alexander, he would have killed him anyway. But who would he kill instead? I think he would have killed Daryl.
I was
Log Run Road's a straight shot.
We want visibility.
There, you got it on Shelton. Golf course, country club, sloping terrain. No bum rush from the boogeyman. We'd see him from a good piece. It is a longer trip by a third, but we get the scenic safety of clear-cut dangles and glens.
You're being serious, right?
There's coronary thrombosis.
You got a route.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It wasn't just me. Rick came looking too. Daryl, some of the others, they would have. They were gone before they even knew about you.
Gone.
They'll be back by the time we are. Probably back already, wondering.
You think I'm being dramatic here? Do you really think you could just come here and tell me to come back and that's how it'll go?
Those people, your people, care about you.
I know they do. And I care about them. That's why I can't be there.
That's why you have to be there.
Do you really just not get it? After everything that's happened.
Cam J, you promised their scenes were short.
If you care about people, there are people to protect. There are people that you will kill for. If you don't want to kill, or if you can't, then you have to get away from them. You do not get both. You should know that.
Everything's about people. And out here on your own, you'll die.
Then let me die.
No, I can't do that.
It's not your decision. Just go.
I'm not leaving you.
I said go. Please just go.
I don't like seeing people humiliated, and
Care about anyone.
scenes with Carol is just her humiliating a bunch of people, especially black men.
I have, and I can't anymore.
Morgan, Ezekiel, and her the saviors with Rick, and it's just about humiliating Rick. I don't care what he promised Rick. She's a grown woman. You know, these are grown people. They can make their choices.
What they did. Glenn and Maggie. Just asking if you could do that. You're doing something as big as that. If that's living.
Could you?
Yeah. I could. Now.
So Abraham was proposing to Sasha. It was a proposal. The same way
Just so you know.
Rick proposed to Michonne during their scavenger hunt, their honeymoon episode.
Bitch nuts.
Let me read what you guys said. Rashida said, yes, MH, Shane and Daryl Bros were mad about Glenn and turned and tuned everything out. Rashid, oh my gosh, why is Morgan trying to stop Carol? Let her leave. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was so annoying. Um, yeah, MH said because he promised Rick that he would bring her back. Please. There's a lot of things Rick said and Morgan, Morgan ignored, so why not just ignore that? And she's a grown adult. She can make up her own mind. Sherry says, I would fast forward right through Carol's scenes whenever I rewatch, just not interested in her character. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Rashida. Frustrating is not the word, Sherry. Sherry says Carol is so frustrating. It's annoying and not enjoyable to watch, at least not for me. Okay.
We making our stand?
Yeah. We end it.
No, not now. They've been waiting. They're ready. With one of us behind the wheel, that's 5 on 16. We're gonna play it our way, how we want it. Right?
Look at him asking.
Right, go slow.
Carl. Carl is grown now. They're just toying with them. Rick and the group. They're just toying with them. so annoying. What do you guys feel watching this episode? There's Morgan again. But what are you guys really feeling? I told you what I'm feeling. I'm not enjoying it. What are you guys feeling? Who hung that guy? Do you think the saviors hung the guy that's Morgan is looking at, or the guy did it himself? Ooh, Cam J said something. I paused it because I want to see what Cam J said. Cam J says, I just realized those two characters, Carol and Morgan, are no longer necessary for the story. They were not needed for King Ezekiel to join the fight against the saviors. You're correct. And they were not necessary. As I said, Morgan's character flailed. Morgan's character became annoying. Morgan's character became unnecessary because they were using him to prop up an unnecessary character. Carol no longer had a relevant story. So they used Morgan to sort of give her a story and make it relevant. So they kept going in that cycle of can't kill, won't kill, killing. I'm so good at it, but it hurts me. And, it just was circular, and it was circling down the drain, and it was taking Morgan's character with it. And you're right. They were not needed for King Ezekiel to join the fight. So it was just superfluous, it was annoying, and it was taking screen time away from where we could get into the heads of some of the characters like Rick, Michonne, and more. It could have fleshed out the story, or it could have fleshed out the characters more, but they were giving them time, giving important characters, taking away time from important characters, and still don't know what to do with these characters that they're using to siphon off valuable, bandwidth. Rashida says, it's sad how this is the apocalypse. You have dead people walking around and these saviors bullying people, the last survivors, for all they know in the world. Exactly, Rashida. To me, that's what's entertaining about that. Morgan looked at the camera. I love it when I see the actors looking around and they accidentally catch the camera, but the natural instinct is to look. And he looked. Andrew Lincoln does it a lot too, where he accidentally catches the camera, but it's natural to, when the camera is there, to do it quick, but then they realize and they look away. Morgan just did that. Andy does it all the time. Again, Cam J, you said their scenes were short. This is not short. I'm blaming. I'm projected onto Cam J. I'm gonna blame Cam J for any time Morgan and Carol come on my screen.
How are we on gas? Half a tank. We pulled some more cans before we left.
Those weren't the same men who blocked the road the first time.
Same outfit, different soldiers. They got numbers.
We keep driving. We get her there.
We will.
If we have to shove each and every one of them up their own asses.
Can't go through it. Can't risk the RV. Stay behind the wheel just in case.
Cam J says short intervals.
Clear it.
Still too long, Cam J. Sherry says, honestly, first watch is enough for me, just to move the story along, but too much scene time to Carol and Morgan. Would prefer that time given to Glenn, Abraham, or Michonne. Exactly. It's Glenn's last few episodes. It's Glenn's last episode, and they're wasting it on Carol and Morgan. It's just saying the same thing over and over. You know, it makes no sense. And like you, Sherry, the first watch was enough for me. I just not enjoying this episode. So I don't think I can go through a lot of the Saviors episodes. So you guys have to pick the next episode for me. So I'll be reading all week. Just like I asked you to put in the comments in 6:15. Please put in the comments in this reaction which should be my next episode. And the episode that wins, that's the one I'll watch. I can't go through watching just this celebration and gratuitous violence and humiliation of characters I love. Like, you know, it's not good for the spirit. MA says amen, Sherry.
Putting together a Red Rover like that takes people. A lot of them.
Come on, let's do this.
Dad,
That's Michonne's.
That's Daryl's.
So he knows that they have Michonne now because took her locks off the walker and he saw the walker have her jacket. So he knows they have Michonne. Now again, here it's going to be.
What's that sound?
Undercarriage could have caught a bullet. Or could be transmission. It could be nothing.
They were firing at our feet. They blocked the road, but they weren't trying to stop us. They want us in this direction.
Barton Road takes us north, but they gotta know we wanna go north.
Meadows. Could take us east a piece, but we can get back on track on May.
So they're still looking for a way to get Maggie to the doctor. So she's having an emergency. Rick is looking at Michonne locks that he took off the walker, and you can see he's sick to his stomach. But he's going to continue to try to get Maggie to the doctor instead of like, where the hell is Michonne, and try to figure out how to find Michonne. Yes, Rashida, but to me, Rick prioritizing Maggie when he sees that Michonne is being held by the Savior makes no sense. Just like him prioritizing looking for Carol when he knows the Saviors are coming and his kids are in Alexandria. He leaves Alexandria when I say unprotected, he is the protection for his kids. He leaves his kids to prioritize looking for Carol when Morgan already had volunteered to go look for her. So to me, that's it doesn't make sense. It's like people would say, oh, it's like when Rick went to look for Herschel, but marauders weren't on their way to attack the farm. Rick wouldn't leave Carl and Lori unprotected to go look for Herschel if he knew that danger was coming to the farm. He went because he knew that they were safe where they were, and he went to go get Herschel. To me, these sequence of events of writing Rick prioritizing other people over getting Michonne doesn't make sense, because Michonne, he has clear evidence now. Okay, Constance says Maggie's emergency is in front of him though. Going after Carol was dumb and out of character, but this time this makes sense to me because he doesn't know where to start looking for Michonne. But he has evidence. Blah, blah, blah. He has evidence that Michonne is taken by the Saviors. That means Michonne is in danger. Is either has been killed or in danger. I don't think Rick would be just, okay, let's figure out how to get Maggie to Hilltop. You see what I'm saying? It just, okay. Cam J says, which episode featured Negan stealing Michonne's deer and showed Rick telling Judith that Judith is, Rick telling Michonne that Judith is not his daughter. Rashida said season 7, episode 2, I think, Cam J. Yes, that's a good, well, I like Rick, the talk with Rick and Michonne. But I don't like the sequence. I'll watch it, but I'm not a fan because it's another humiliation ritual. I like the Rick and Michonne scenes with him talking to her, telling her to give up the weapons because he's not going to lose her, and also the conversation about Judith and Shane. So I like those. So I like those two scenes. I don't like the episode because it's another humiliation ritual. But if those scenes are in the episode, I'll watch it. Rashida says it's season 7, episode 4. Constance said, yeah, but where do you start looking for her at that moment? He lose 2 people if he doesn't try to save Maggie right now. Hi, yes, hi, Constant. Good to have you here. So, okay, Constant says he's dealing with what's in front of him, and Maggie is the priority now because he doesn't know where to look for Michonne. I agree with that. He doesn't know where to look for Michonne, but I think he would he I think he wouldn't. I don't know. I was gonna say he wouldn't pull away, but he has Carl. He has Carl. If it was himself, he probably would have surrendered so that they could take him. So maybe he could find Michonne. Maybe he hope with the hope that they still have Michonne. But he has Carl with him. So surrendering might not be the thing, but I just yeah, I see what you're saying, Constant, but I don't know. I think for me, the only thing that saves that argument in a sense that Maggie's in front of him, so he has to take care of that. Michonne is in mortal danger, even more so than Maggie. So I think he would prioritize Michonne. I think what saves the plot where he continues trying to take Maggie to Hilltop is that he has Carl with him, because I think he would have spiraled and gone to the Saviors and given himself up just in the hopes of they would take him to Michonne if she was still alive. And the only reason he would not do it is because he has Carl with him. So that's the important piece of the puzzle for me. If Carl was not with him, I don't think it would be in character for Rick to ignore that he just got notice. He just got the telegram that they have Michonne, and Michonne is in mortal danger, either kidnapped or killed. So I don't think he would continue. He would want to be taken to Michonne. So Carl, not Maggie, saves the plot of him continuing on, not knowing that Michonne is in mortal danger. Let's continue. Oh my gosh, we're only halfway through. This episode is hella long.
But nobody feels after that.
He's burning up.
Poor Rick. Everybody is just
Rick.
putting everything on his shoulders, and
Go back. Where?
Rick has to make all the decisions. You see that instance? Go back. Where? You see what I'm saying? Rick has to make every single decision. That's too much for one person. Just constantly. And Michonne is gone. He knows that they have Michonne. He can't even get the time to process that. And here we're wasting time with these two again. Hi, Mary.
Each breath
Thanks for joining
is
us.
getting harder. I probably don't have too many more in me. So I'm gonna make each one count. So here's how it's gonna go. You're gonna lie there, and I'm gonna watch you die. Slow. Just like my friends did back on that road. Just like I'm gonna. Let's see who wins, bitch. You see there? That's a pretty good start, huh? Ah!
Don't tempt me, Cam J. Cam J said, we still have 30 minutes. Can we fast forward? MH says, definitely season 7, episode 4. Rashida said, but the Shane bros swear he would have been a better leader than Rick. Shane's hot temper would have snapped at a situation like this and not in a good way. Yeah, they're as delusional as their hero. Constance says, that's why he loves Michonne so much, because he doesn't have to lead or figure everything out alone. They're the ultimate couple. She has great ideas and tries to come up with solutions to the problems. You're right, Constant. She helps him bear the burden, you know, and she sees Rick as she sees Rick's humanity. You know, people just they use Rick. They lean on Rick and they forget that he is just as vulnerable as they are. In the prison, they understood that and gave him room. But outside of that, before the prison, after the prison, it was just a constant, you make the decisions, you, and then when he makes a decision that doesn't turn out right or to their suiting, or it's one they disagree with, they badmouth him. It's just, you know, Michonne doesn't do anything like that. She supports him. She um tries to come up with solutions with him. She bears his burdens, you know. She looks after him. Rest, Rick. No, you had a concussion. I'll go do the scavenging. And she looks out for him because she loves him. She really loves him. The others are, you know, they use him. And just, you know, it's so sad. He's going through it. And it's, Rick, you have to come up with an answer for us. She, Michonne is his hiding place, his soft place. And he's that for her too, you know? He's that for her too. She can relax and she can lean into her femininity. She can use him for her strength. She has to be strong for so long alone, and he can be her strength. And in turn, she lets him lean on her. You know, it's a beautiful relationship. They're the ultimate couple. I agree with you. They're the best couple in the terms of respect, in terms of love, in terms of support. The best couple I've encountered in media, print media, and television, movie, whatever. The best couple, because they're written to be such support for each other. It's an ideal of what a relationship should be. So and they're compatible, and they're They're everything. I love them. They're so good together. You're right, Constant. Mhm. He's comforting Maggie. Who is comforting him about Michonne?
We're getting there.
Our shots.
Yeah. The saviors, they're gone. We are. We're gonna get you there.
I know.
You're gonna be okay. The baby's gonna be okay. This isn't it. This isn't it. There's more. There's gonna be more.
I believe in you, Rick.
She says she believed in him. One of the few, he doesn't hear that a lot. One of the few moments of support.
What do you get to smile about, bitch? What the hell's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna die. So, there's nothing wrong with me anymore.
You think you've suffered enough now?
No, probably not. What are you done? Unless you kill me now, I'm not gonna die. You decide. The world doesn't decide. You decide. You don't get to walk away and get what you want.
Stop. Drop it. You can survive this. You can. Drop it. Please.
I thought he couldn't kill, so just because it's Carol, he's gonna kill. Very inconsistent.
Please just let me go.
It's not your time. You were gonna come back from this.
Thank you, Rashida.
What happened here?
I found your horse. Found my friend, too. She needs help. Let's get you some help.
These tracks, they would indicate they not only have people, but some big-ass toys and capabilities.
What it indicates is we are neck deep up shit creek with our mouths wide open. Don't.
I can try and break the chain.
It won't work.
We can try.
It won't work.
So these awful saviors, these awful tactics, and that's who the show wants us to root for. Sherry said, Morgan, just let her go. Exactly, Cam J. All this gunfire, no walkers.
You're treating your people good, right?
Rashida says, I think this is
Your
when...
last day on Earth? Or maybe one of theirs? Better go. It's gonna get hot. You go get where you're going.
Go. Go.
Rashida says, I think this is when people lost interest for the show. This dialogue with Morgan Carroll and the saviors, we didn't need it. Yeah.
So what's the play? She needs a doctor.
There are 2 more routes north from here.
They're probably waiting for us right now.
So they're ahead of us, probably behind us. But they're not waiting on us, per se. They're waiting on this rust bucket. And they don't know the moment-to-moment occupancy of said rust bucket. And the sunset soon.
That's the last of it. If you see a car, try to siphon the gas. Other than that, you keep moving.
I'll have them thinking we're playing their game. All phases of the turn, level after level, move after move, I'll keep them spun. I assure you I will. I got something for you. It's a recipe and it ain't gazpacho. How to build bullets 101. Abraham can show you where, just in case.
Thank you for this. For all of it. We're lucky you're here.
I won't argue with that.
So was that the last thing Rick said to
You don't make that
Eugene?
thing
How come you never let me drive the truck?
go. I didn't think you could do it. I was wrong. You're a survivor. You always were. We just didn't know it.
So they make it seem as if Eugene was the one that's gonna die. And Rick, what Rick said to Eugene should have used that, and when he went with the saviors,
Thank you.
sabotage the saviors for Rick, because Rick was one of the people that believed in him, but he didn't turn around because of that. But this was a nice thread to bring it back to that. If they'd used what Rick said to Eugene to let him, switch sides, but whatever. They made this episode too long. And it was too long because of the Carol and Morgan stuff.
There.
It was not necessary.
Just let me walk in.
Relax. Just a few more miles.
They could have made Morgan
I heard what you told her.
journey
We're
to
leaving.
just go, because he disagreed with Rick's philosophy to move on,
So do
make
anything you need to do.
Morgan come across the saviors, and
I
then
will.
Jesus was going to introduce
What happened to Denise?
Rick to the saviors anyway. Sorry, I'm said to the saviors.
Son.
What?
He should have made he should have made Morgan come across the kingdom anyway. I said saviors, I meant the kingdom. And Paul Rovia was going to introduce Rick to the kingdom anyway. So Carol wasn't needed for that storyline. So it just made it long and meandering and annoying. This episode would have been finished already. And the stupid whistling. It's supposed to be, oh, so scary, spooky.
Go! Go!
Eugene.
Good.
At least Eugene's alive.
Welcome to where you're going. We'll take your weapons. Now. We can talk about it. We're done talking. Time to listen. That's yours, right? Yeah. It's yours.
Stupid. This is
Okay.
what's entertaining about
Let's
this.
get her down and get you all on your knees. Lots to cover.
Hold up. We got it.
Sure.
Sure.
I can see that it's freezing where they are right now. The frost coming from their breath can't be comfortable filming when it's so cold. Oh, they beat Eugene because his eyes are swollen.
Gonna need you on your knees.
Oh, that's true, Rashida. Rashida says Rick always puts his hands in his eyes when he's very emotional. Yeah, that's a tick of his, yeah.
Let's get the other one. Right now. Dwight!
Yeah. Job, job.
Come on. You got people to meet.
I forgot Rosita was with them.
Maggie?
On your knees. All right. We got a full boat.
Okay.
Let's meet.
What's the what's the thing that you notice in that scene right there? Based on who is directing the scene, what do you notice he didn't do? Or unless I missed it. Did I look away? I don't think so. Sherry said, yeah, didn't like this. Who would cheer these saviors? Hard to see Maggie and the group like this. Look how they handled Michonne. Right? And then Constance said, yeah, they did too much with Carol and Morgan. We could have gotten more time. Glenn, Michonne, and Rick. Yeah, the group that was kidnapped, right? Or unless they wanted to keep the suspense of what had happened to Michonne, Daryl, Glenn, and Rosita. Maybe they wanted us to think that they had died, that the saviors had killed them. Because especially when we saw the Red Rover, the tied up walkers with Michonne's locks and jacket and with Daryl's arrows. So maybe they were trying to keep us in suspense that those characters had died. But I was never in suspense that they had died because the way the show carried on about Daryl, thinking that Daryl is that Daryl can never, that Daryl is the Walking Dead, which they found out later. Just, Rick is the Walking Dead. But I knew that that group was still with us, right? And then again with the comics, what happened with Glenn? We knew that they would be a part of the lineup. So the suspense didn't work there. But what did you notice when they brought Rosita, Daryl, Glenn, and Michonne out of the van into the clearing? What did you notice and it's actually based on who is directing? If you note, did you catch something? I saw something. I want to see if anyone else noticed it. Constance said, yeah, we could have gotten a flashback to a more intimate, quiet time with Rick and Michonne with just them speaking about their new relationship status during the time he didn't know where Michonne was exactly. We could have had Rick, because they wouldn't have shown Michonne what Michonne was thinking, because they wanted us to think that Michonne had died. So we could have had Rick flashing back to the night he and Michonne first got together, and um Paul interrupted them. But whatever, a moment where Rick and Michonne, right, when Paul interrupted them, it could have been another round, you know? So they're after their first round, we could have gotten some pillow talk. Great. See, Constant, you could be a writer, you know? You could write The Walking Dead better than what we're seeing right now. That would have been perfect. But again, we lost valuable and relevant character and relationship development because they were wasting it on Morgan and Carol, who were not relevant to the story, especially this story, right? So yeah, unnecessary. And look at Michonne, you know, it's like she's kidnapped. This Rick and her in a brand new relationship. Rick is the protagonist of the show, and they're giving away time to Carol. And and it's not even that. Her and Morgan's conversation is just repetition, just endless, repeating the same thing over and over. So I want to see, guys. So thank you for that point, Constant. Great point. I want to see if you guys saw. Thank you, Cam J. I just saw it. Cam J saying no acknowledgement between Rick and Michonne. And do you notice they gave acknowledgement to everyone else? They gave acknowledgement to when to Glenn realizing Maggie's there. He called out her name. Maggie realizing Glenn was there. Then Rosita, Eugene, who loves Regita, Eugene, who loves Rosita, sees Rosita, and he gets even more pained seeing her there. So Glenn is in pain to see Maggie's there. Maggie's in pain to see Glenn there. Eugene is in pain to see Rosita there. Who are the other two lovers? No acknowledgement. They're brand new in their relationship, in not their relationship, but brand new after they're consummating their relationship. They've been in love forever. And Rick is the protagonist of the show. And Greg Nicotero sees to it that there's no acknowledgement. But yet, Eugene is expressing his love through his pain that she's there. Glenn and Maggie get to express their love and the pain. And he even focuses on Daryl a lot. Right? Michonne just get pulled out and that's it. And no relief from Rick. Shown, it's not that Rick didn't feel relief and also feel the same thing Eugene and Glenn and Maggie were feeling, but they did not give, no, Greg Nicotero did not give Rick the space to acknowledge and express those things for and about Michonne. That is tactical bias. That is to say, I don't acknowledge Michonne. She is not important. I'd rather, right? She's not important. I'd rather repeat the same thing in the same episode for Carol over and over than give Michonne any kind of acknowledgement. Much less the acknowledgement of love from Rick to Michonne. That is deliberate. And that is an expression from the director uh, to hell with Rick and Michonne. He hates Rick and Michonne. He cannot tell us enough he hates Rick and Michonne. And he hates Rick and Michonne not because they're not a good couple and they're not right for each other. His bias is based on outright racism against Michonne. Rashida saw the same thing, calls out to Maggie after he gets out of the van, but there's nothing between Michonne and Rick. Sherry says nothing for the champions, shameful. Sherry says call it out, shameful. Rashida says watching it again, they focus on Daryl, Rosita, Eugene, Glenn, and Maggie, nothing on Michonne after they sit down for the lineup. Exactly. It's because of who is directing it. He does not acknowledge. The director does not acknowledge Michonne, so he will not have the any focus on her, and he will not have Rick acknowledge Michonne because he resents that Rick is with Michonne. His bias always interferes in the episode he directs, and his bias against Michonne is it's loud. It's loud. He doesn't hide it. And that's why I question. I'm not accusing, but I question if the deer in the Rick and Michonne's proposal episode, their scavenge episode, cuz he brags, Nicotera brags that he edits, or sits with the editors for his episodes. So he would have seen that the deer was not rendered properly. So I question if the fake deer was a sabotage, because all you could hear after that episode was everyone talking about the deer, not about Rick's groundbreaking proposal, what he proposed to Michonne about. It was all about the deer and people laughing about the deer. So I question if that was an intentional sabotage. And I thank Andy and Denai so much for making sure that he had no hand in the storyline or the directing, any of that in The Ones Who Live. His team still had a hand in the effects, the Walker effects, but having a hand in telling the story, he did not have, like he had a part in The Walking Dead in the terms of directing and inserting his feelings and bias in how the story was told. He had no say in The Ones Who Live, and the show excelled because of it. It was not the only reason it excelled, but him not being a part of it allowed the show to excel without interference or his negative bias affecting it. Constant said, "Thank you. I got some ideas." Right, Constant, because your ideas are so good and they're better than what I'm watching on screen right now. Let's see. Rashida said, I just looked it up for season 9, episode 5. Guess who directed that one? That explains everything. What's season 9, episode 5? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't written also. You know, it was directed, but it wasn't written. So he's not a writer. You know, the writing can tell, um the script says what happens. The director then can interpret what happens, right? So who the camera focuses on, and you know, all of that, and what the character does in the scene. They have to play out the action and the dialogue, but the director has room um to interpret certain scenes certain way, like in No Way Out, the flashback of Rick to Jesse, the flashback of Jesse from Rick was not in the script. He Nicotera did an interview and said that was all him. He did that because to me it was another way to try to to um to force a narrative that the story wasn't telling. He was trying to make Rick and Jesse more more than what it was, especially knowing what was coming next. He wanted to actually muddy the water for what was going ahead, and he tried to put to make Jesse be more try to insert Jesse into to being more for Rick than she was. And he did that through the editing. And he put in those flashback, and that's making the pacing for that episode was so poor. And you know, it was the hesitation to chop in the hand, that wasn't supposed to, there should, it's Carl, there should be no hesitation. So it's just, again, him putting his bias in trying to change the narrative in the story. So instead of the director helping foster the narrative that the writer is telling, he's trying to insert his biases and create a different narrative through his directing. So, and he couldn't stop Rick and Michonne from happening, but he could interfere with how the story is being told in the episodes he direct. He could diminish them. Just like this, Rick was worried that Michonne had died, or you know, and it would have been a relief to see her here, both a relief and also the same pain that the Maggie and Glenn felt seeing each other in that situation, and Eugene towards Rosita, who we know he has had feelings for forever. So there was nothing between Rick and Michonne. He showed nothing. He made sure Michonne was not focused on. Constance said Rick did look pointedly at Michonne when she got pulled out of the can, if I remember, unless that just from edits online, but nothing verbally. I didn't see it. We just watched it. The people they focused on, all we saw was Michonne dragged out. We didn't, the camera never went back to Rick looking at Michonne. We didn't see that contact, that acknowledgement. We saw the focus be on Glenn and Maggie. We saw the focus be on Daryl alone. We saw the focus be on what's his name? Eugene to Rosita. Where was Rick's lingering look and the acknowledgement between Rick and Michonne? I didn't see that. And then Constant Rashida said, I looked up season 7, episode 12. He directed that episode with CGI there. Yeah, I told you. I knew he directed it. That's why I asked if I question. I cannot say because I don't know either way, but I do not know yes or no. I don't have the answer. That's why I'm asking. I wonder. I wonder if that deer was sabotage. I question it because of what's come before that and what comes after for Rick and Michonne in, when he's at the helm. Sherry says, nothing for our champions. What a loser, this director. Yes, thank you, Andy and Denai. Love you. Constance said, yeah, I wish Greg didn't get any creative say or authority other than makeup of the walkers. Exactly. He has no business. And this bias has been around for a while and they let it continue. Cam J said, did Greg Nicotero direct any episodes in Dead City or Daryl Dixon? I don't know, Cam J, because I didn't watch Dead City or um Daryl Dixon, but I know he was heavily involved in Daryl Dixon. He went with Norman. He was a big part of the producing team. He wasn't just producer in name only, like how in The Ones Who Live they gave him producing credit because of his team's work with the Walkers, but he wasn't just doing the Walkers in Daryl Dixon. He was heavily involved. I don't know though if he directed, but he was very involved in producing. So, and he went with Norman. He was a part of the everyday production. So he was there in Spain, in France, in wherever they've been shooting. Constance said, I resent Greg Nicotera. So do I, Constant. Because to see that blatant hate towards Michonne and to have it seep into his there's no professionalism, to watch the blatant bias in how he handles the character and the and Rick and Michonne together. I cannot. I do not like it. I do not like what he has done. And I'm so glad that he has no part in a product that Danai and Andy intimately produced, and everyone who worked on The Ones Who Live were asked to work on The Ones Who Live by Danai and Andy. So I'm wondering if they noticed, because he was not asked to be a part of their team. And well, maybe he had the excuse that he was busy with Daryl Dixon's show, but I am forever grateful that he was not asked. And it makes me wonder if they too are cognizant. If we see it, why wouldn't they see it? You know, I can see Gimple missing it because he's always looking at the big picture, and he has so much going on. I don't know if he's seeing the minutia, but Danai lives the minutia. Andy doesn't watch. He didn't watch The Walking Dead, but I think he watched it back to prepare for The Ones Who Live. But during the filming of The Walking Dead, he didn't watch it, so he may have. He doesn't. I don't think he knew what made it to screen. But I don't, and I don't know if Danai watched it, but if she did, she's brilliant. So she should be able to. She should have picked that up. But I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just glad whether they're cognizant and they did not invite him in purposefully, or it just worked out that way because he was involved with Daryl Dixon's show. I'm just grateful that he was not a part of it. Because to bring that negative energy and because he can't stand a couple. He can't stand it. He cannot stand that Rick is with Michonne. So can you imagine? Thank you, Constant. The writing more than fell off, Constant. Rashida said Greg Nicotero did not direct anything in Dead City season 1 or 2, but he did direct in Daryl Dixon. So there you go. So he did not only have a day-to-day hands-on producing role in Daryl Dixon, but he directed. That's his guy, so. And to be, don't be sad that he is not a fan of Rick of Michonne, because his taste is someone you would not value his, you would not value his opinion on what a good couple would be, because his takes are perverted. Because he wanted Daryl with Beth. He wanted Daryl with underage Beth. He has a propensity for blondes, but I guess, yeah, Beth is blonde, but she was a child. And that's the pairing he likes. So seeing the pairing he likes, we should be glad that he didn't like Rick and Michonne, because Rick and Michonne are quality, is a quality pairing. So you didn't want someone with perverse and who doesn't have any taste in what a good, or doesn't know what a good couple is, liking our couple. That would not bode well for Rick and Michonne if he was, one of their cheerleaders. But the fact that he cannot stand, he didn't want Rick with Michonne, we should be, it's actually a positive thing, because his endorsement is not good. Sherry said, yeah, he did that with the dare. It was horrible. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he did it, but how could you not see it? You're the director. You're in the editing booth. You have the final say on the final cut. That's why I said, was that unrendered dare sabotage against Rick and Michonne? Because that episode was their episode. Rashida said, I'm sure Denai definitely seen it with Greg Nicotero. I don't know. I don't know if she's cognizant of it, because on set, he smiles with her, you know? There are people like that. They'll smile in your face, but think otherwise of you, or hate you because of the color of your skin, but they'll smile in your face and pretend that they're cool with you. So not necessarily, I don't know. I hope she knows, but I don't know if she knows. I cannot be sure of that. Constance said, I guess it was from edits online. I don't watch the episodes along with you guys because I'm usually at work when these start. Okay, Constant. Yeah, did you guys, did I miss it? Constant is not watching it. She's just, joining us wonderfully, listening and, discussing the episode with us. But for you guys, did you see Rick focus on Michonne and Michonne, Rick focus on Michonne and Michonne acknowledge Rick? I saw the others. I didn't see anything from Rick to Michonne or Michonne to Rick. Sherry says to bring that poison in the ones who live. Yeah, I'm grateful he had no part in it. Side note, Michonne needs a new lock stylist for the ones who live also. Please, Sherry, don't get me started. I'm going to be zip. I don't want to go off on another tangent. Don't get me started about the hairstylist, please. For Michonne, for The Walking Dead and the ones who live. Oh my gosh. So many great hairstylists. And they're sticking with this guy that's making Michonne. Oh my gosh. Oh. For now. Rashida said from that episode, that's only what everyone talks about or thinks of. The CGI there. Yeah. Because that was their episode. That was the episode to make it clear to the audience who they are to each other. And what, and Rick proposed that Rick views Michonne as his wife. And it was the CGI deer became the talk of the episode. The bad CGI deer. It was the episode was going great until that deer. And that's all, so I wonder if it was sabotage. Rashida said that is an OJ song. They smile in your face, backstabbers. Yep. Sherry said it was a quick look. Rashida said, I rewatched it and a shock stare if he was looking at Michonne. If he was looking at Michonne, that's what I mean. I don't mean, we knew that Glenn and Maggie, the camera made sure, the edit, the tape, the camera made sure and the edit made sure that we knew that they were acknowledging each other. The same thing, even though they didn't show Rosita acknowledging Eugene, we had Eugene focused on Rosita and showing us his pain. And it's telling us about their relationship and what they feel. Rosita never reciprocated to Eugene. That's a part of their dynamic. Rick and Michonne, you didn't have what Maggie and Glenn got. And you didn't have what Eugene had towards Rosita. There was no focus on Rick. And then the camera going back to Michonne to make sure that's what's happening.
Man.
12 minutes. The episode is over. Once it's over, guys, we're done. I'm done. I don't even want to continue talking about the episode. So let's get everything out during the episode. And Negan walks out. Who cares?
Missing our pants yet?
And his dialogue is so juvenile, and that's Robert Kirkman. Oh, guys, did you hear the news? Denai is going to be a part of Invincible, and I think I saw online people were saying she's not in a lot of scenes. So, because I was wondering, I was like, Denai is busy. How is she gonna do Invincible? But I think Kirkman probably asked her, and she said yes because she doesn't have to devote too much time to it. But that's cool that she'll be playing another character. Another badass character. Sherry said it was a quick
You're
look.
Rick, right?
Rashida says it was a shock stare if he was looking at
I do not
Michonne.
appreciate you killing my men.
Rashida said
Also, when I sent my people,
Jeffrey
so
Dean's
you
Morgan
think this
character
is
of
killing
Negan
my
is just
people?
like in the comics, juvenile and a lot of
Kill
yeah,
more of my
it's so
people.
juvenile. It was really written. It's like a kid trying to be cool wrote it.
You have no idea.
And immature men loving that character is just it fits. It's that immature, juvenile, just ridiculous dialogue and characterization.
You're so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes. Yes, you are. You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter what, you don't mess with the New World Order. New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. So even if you're stupid, which you very may well be, you can understand it.
Look at the cold, the frost coming from Andy.
Here goes. Pay attention. Give me your shit, or I will kill you. Today was career day. We invested a lot so you would know who I am and what I can do. You work for me now. You have shit, you give it to me. That's your job. Now I know that is a mighty big, nasty pill to swallow. But swallow it. You most certainly will. You ruled the roost. You.
Rashida said that's why a lot of the 20-year-olds to the late 30s love Shane, Daryl, and Negan. These are the same people who read comics in middle school. No, they're just living in basement. Their mothers or grandma's basement. They're not. They haven't grown up. They're just immature. You know, just immature, unsophisticated men boys. That's what it is. They just refuse to grow up. And not in a, we're adults, but the that child that's always within us, it's not the same thing. These are just like, men that refuse to grow up and mature in thought, in being emotionally intelligent, in what the kids slang and say, they're losers. That's what it is. For someone like this to be your hero, you're a loser. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just no.
Built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You are not safe. Not even close. In fact, you are pegged. More pegged if you don't do what I want. And what I want is half your shit. And if that's too much, you can make, find, or steal more, and it'll even out sooner or later. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. So if someone knocks on your door, you let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us, and we will knock it down. You understand? What? No answer? You don't really think that you were going to get through this without being punished now, did you? I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get-go. I want you to work for me. You can't
do that if you're dead, now can you? I'm not growing a garden.
Yes, Constant.
But you killed my people, a whole damn lot of them, more than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, Constant. Denai's going to play a character in Invincible, a warrior. A warrior alien from another planet. She's I don't watch Invincible, but I'll watch if I can see the nice episode, I may watch it. But I saw, I read a little of people talking about it, and she fights Glenn's character, and then she gets taken out by Glenn's character, Glenn. Stephen's character, not Glenn's character. She gets taken out by Stephen's character's girlfriend, but the girlfriend had to. It's like a 2-on-1. It wasn't woman to woman. At least that's what I saw from the comics. But I don't know if they're gonna change the storyline and or if they're going to change what happens to the character. But it was announced and it was a big deal, all the entertainment vlogs and magazines announced it because it was getting a lot of traction on in the media, in the entertainment media. So it trended for a while. So it was pretty great news. I want to see Danai in more, but I want to see her in her own starring vehicles. Constant, let's get to writing. I wanted Danai to star in one of my my projects, but it didn't happen. But she might do yours, Constant. So get to writing. Hi, God loves his children. Thank you. Yes, 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 I will continue with the live. I just want you to choose the episodes from going forward, what I will do. Because I cannot watch so much of the season 6, no, we're finishing season 6, season 7 and season 8. It was intolerable for me. I don't get entertained by watching the characters I like humiliated, and it was a humiliation fest. The writers and producers relished in Rick's humiliation, Rick and Michonne's and the group's humiliation. So I didn't find it entertaining, and I don't know if I can watch 32 episodes of that. So I want you guys to pick the episodes that you want to watch with me for us to go over. So I'm hot, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not stripping on live. I just got very hot all of a sudden. And so I want you guys to pick the episodes that you want us to me to react to and watch with you and discuss with you. So leave the next episode that you want to see, leave it in the comment section of this live, and the one that wins, that's the next episode I'll do. And then we'll continue with that. And I'm hoping to get through it. God loves his children. I'm hoping to get through it so that we can eventually get to the ones who live. Because I can't wait to do that. Constant, you saw I answered your question that you left on Patreon, Constant, because I have a different take on Thorn. I know what she said. I know what the actress said, but I know what I saw. So I can't wait to get into to it with you guys. Well, Rashida, I'm moving soon, so I may not need this fan that I have. Where I'm going may have a better system. So I can't wait because my lives will change. When I move, my lives will be more interactive. I'll walk I'll go on walks and um will I'll do reactions from different locations, and we'll can do a lot outside. We can, it's just I'm going to be more interactive with my environment, with you guys, with the lives, and it will be more, hopefully, more watchable. It would be more enjoyable to watch. So, and when we get to the ones who live, I hope to actually do interactive reactions, because we I may be joining up with Cam J to do those, right? Cam J should be studying to see what software we use. But I saw something where we can join in with other watchers. So we may do that, but I can't wait for us to get to the ones who live. So, and I can't watch all of 7 and all of 8. It will take too long for us to get to the ones who live. So you guys have to pick the episodes, the next ones that we watch. Same, Sherry. I'm not interested in whoever that person's opinion is. Not yours. God love his children. I love your, and I want your opinion. But this Jerry person you guys are talking about, I don't watch. I don't know who he is, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know his opinion because he sounds like one of those immature Negan fans from what Rashida has been saying, and so I'm not interested in his takes. I'm interested in your takes, guys. I'm interested in Rashida, Constant, God loves his children, Sherry, Cam J, Noor. She's not here. We miss you, Noor, and Diane and more. We're interested in their takes. I'm interested in their takes, not his. God loves his children said, I'm so happy Denai has more projects coming up. I'm looking forward to the one with Denzel Washington and Robert Pattinson. Here Comes the Flood. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. It's coming out on Netflix, and I think it's going to do as well or even better than the one that Steven has done with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Tiana Taylor. And I'm going, and the next one also, I'm looking forward to the one with Michael B. Jordan that he directed. Denai is in that one, the Thomas Crown Affair. And I'm looking forward to Matchbox, the movie she did with what's his name? John Cena. So she's in a lot of things coming out this year. Okay, let's finish up this episode.
And for that, you're gonna pay. So now, I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you. This is Lucille, and she is awesome.
It's so juvenile. I can't take it.
All this is just so we can pick out which one of you gets the honor.
I thought I would have to wait until Black Panther 3 to see Denai and Denzel, but what a treat. Here comes the flood.
I gotta shave this shit. one of our guns. Oh, you got a lot of our guns. Shit, kid. Lighten up. Please cry a little.
You better, Constant, get to writing.
Jesus. You look shitty. I should just put you out of your misery right now.
No! 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 Stop it!
Nope. Nope, get him back in line.
No. 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 Don't. Don't.
All right, listen. Don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. First one's free. It's an emotional moment. I get it. Sucks, don't it? Moment you realize you don't know shit. It's your kid, right? This is definitely your kid.
Stop this!
Hey! Do not make me kill the little future serial killer. Don't make it easy on me. I gotta pick somebody. Everybody's at the table waiting for me to order.
God Loves His Children said episode 4 of The Ones Who Live got a lot of praise. Danai did that. Her episode was the only one in Emmy
I simply
contention
cannot decide.
for Variety, and AMC submitted multiple episodes from each spin-off too. Those episodes, those spin-offs had no
I got
chance.
an idea.
The One Who Lives had a chance, and Danai writing gave them that chance. So yes, I agree with you. God loves his children. Sherry says, yes, Rashida, it was a passive aggressive like for The Ones Who Live. Not a fan of, oh, you guys are still talking about this person. Our takes are what matters here, guys.
Bye. It's tough. If
God Loves His Children said listed at number 10 out of 15 in the writing category. It was better than that.
my mother
I'm not saying
told me
I'm not saying you are wrong. God Loves His Children. In my opinion, it should have been higher than 10 out of 15, way higher. But the Emmy voters are biased. They nominate the same people over and over. They don't even watch a lot of stuff that's nominated. That's submitted, not nominated. Um I was on the nominating committee for SAG-AFTRA, and I didn't get to watch everything. And a lot of the people that I met on the nominating committee didn't watch most of the stuff. So they just put who they like, or who, yeah, it's really about who they like. Or if they watch a show they like. Yeah, that's it. And majority of the shows submitted they don't watch. they've never seen. Uh, Rashida says the one who live episode 4 was a chef kiss of excellent. Yes, it was a writing masterpiece. It was. uh God Loves His Children said, I wouldn't be surprised if Denzel tapped Denai in for Here Comes the Flood. They met before because they have theater backgrounds, and I think he saw her play Eclipse on Broadway too. Really? That would be awesome if he was the one that picked Denai for that movie. That would be excellent because I've always wanted them to pair up. I'm so I was gonna say I'm so excited to see what Ryan does with Denai and Denzel in Black Panther 3, but I should temper my excitement because uh the the interference in with Marvel, I'm I'm I've, I'm tapped out of Marvel now. I'm not into it because Black Panther 2 could have been better. There's too much interference in that, and also the story that Ryan had for Denai, he wasn't able to do because of that interference. Because the border tribe wanted the Okoye to become queen. So there was, and I think they intervened at the last minute and forced, uh, Marvel intervened and forced Ryan to make Umbaku king because of the male misogynistic fans upset that Shuri was gonna be Black Panther, which I agreed with them. She doesn't have that physic. She doesn't have the physicality, and the she's not a great fighter. Um, I don't think I think her value. I think she was an awesome scientist, but I don't like her as a Black Panther, and it's not because she's a woman. I would have preferred uh, uh um someone who is more a warrior, whether Umbaku, but he wouldn't fit because that the panther, he's the gorilla. So the gorilla, that tribe worship that, whatever. And but Denai, or some people wanted Lupita again, she too doesn't have that warrior spirit. But anyway, aside from who would be the Black Panther, because they made Shuri the Black Panther, they were upset, and to satisfy them, they made Umbaku king. But the story was the border tribe was plotting to make Okoye queen, and that story would have been fire. Oh my gosh! And Marvel interfered. So Ryan has great ideas, and if he was left to cook, he would have cooked. So yeah, and the Doomsday, this story, which features mostly Shuri and Umbaku for the Wakanda side of it, it doesn't really entice me. I'm not gonna rush out to the theaters to watch. It's gonna do very well, but I'm not gonna rush out to the theaters to watch it. I'll hear first what it's about, and maybe I'll go watch it if it's people's whose opinion I value like it. If not, I can wait to see it later on, when it comes on streaming or whatever. But Okoye, Denai added so much to Black Panther. I don't think they understand it. They listen to a small faction online and think that you need star power. I explained something about there's a difference between being a good actor and being someone that can um that's electric on screen and people want to see. I discussed that in my reaction to the Fantastic Four, which is up on Patreon. I have not edited it for YouTube yet, but I explained, I went into depth in my reaction to Fantastic Four on that. And Danai is one of those stars, one of those actors that has charisma and people love to watch. When she's on screen, you can't take your eyes off her, and she brings energy. Uh, you know, the guy that plays Umbaku has that in a little, not a little. He has it, but it's not that star power that Denai has. And whether people want to admit it or not, Okoye's character really helped supercharge a lot of the both Black Panthers. So seeing the Wakanda people without Okoye doesn't entice me, but that doesn't mean that I won't watch it, but I'm not going to be rushing to the theaters to see it. So I hope with with Ryan's getting his, yes, yeah, I saw that. um Okoye is one of Scarlett Johansson's favorite. Yeah, she loves Denai. She loves Denai so much. um R- Ryan is getting the fine, is actually, going up in a lot of esteem in Hollywood. He fully deserves it with this Oscar nomination. Sinners breaking record. I hope they don't try to humiliate them on Oscar night like they did to The Color Purple. What we were talking about, smile in your face, then stab you in the back. Yeah. So I hope that doesn't happen. But regardless of what they do, we see the talent, and the people see the talent, and we consider Ryan had as one of as one of the top directors, and he has cachet now in Hollywood. So I'm hoping with that cachet he can get Marvel to back down, and he can tell his story how he wants to, because if they let him cook, he will cook. And he loves Danai, and the way he incorporates her into the story, what he wrote for her for Wakanda Forever, but was not able to do, is, tells me how much he understands how much Danai brings to the Panther franchise. And also in Black Panther 1, the scene he fought, there's a scene with Danai and Daniela Kaluuya, which was fantastic. And if they had left that scene in, then I may have, well, Hollywood is biased, but I think she deserved the nomination for Okoye in Black Panther 1, but that scene would have helped even solidify that she deserved to be nominated. And it also would have added more to, it would have explained, especially Daniel Kaluuya's character a little bit more in Black Panther 1. But Marvel interfered, and Ryan said he fought to have, but he didn't have the cachet, and they had him cut that scene. So and again they interfered and had him cut the scene with the border tribe pushing for Okoye to be queen. So it's just her role in Wakanda Forever was too diminished. I noticed. So I was just like, because they cut her arc, they cut her story arc, and to push Marvel's agenda with what's the woman that went on into the Thunderbolts that flopped, the one with the gray streak. They set Okoye aside for characters that didn't work. And hopefully Ryan can correct course in Black Panther 3. And with Denzel coming on board, I know he wants to act with a heavy hitter, and then, deny with him in this upcoming Netflix movie. I hope he, I hope Ryan gets to cook with them. So anyway, uh, God loves his children said she was also the highest ranked black woman in Emmy contention in multiple publications prediction lists. Yep. Variety, Gold Derby, Vulture, and even a critic named Eric Deggans had her at number 5, almost the whole race. And I remember the ones who live got a vote from an Emmy voter. She was placed at number 13 out of 25. Yeah, it's she would have gotten nominated if the process was worked as it should. As I told you, the voters don't watch the submissions. They just vote for their friends and who they like. And Denai keeps to herself. You know, she's friends with, you know, a lot of other actors and everything, and she's very respected by her peers, but she's not into the Hollywood scene. And you know, it's the networking and the campaigning. She didn't campaign Emmy season, so I wasn't surprised she didn't get the nomination. I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised because she doesn't campaign. The only time I've seen her campaign was for Black Panther, and I think she was doing it not for herself. She was doing it on behalf of her peers, her castmates, because she believed in them so much and she believed in the movie so much. So she did it on their behalf, but she has never campaigned for herself. Yeah. And she campaigned, she did an event with Ruth Carter, the designer, and you know, she did an event for her here in I think it was in near Westwood, near UCLA. So she'll go to bat for others. So she didn't campaign for herself. So, but if all went as if everyone watched the submissions and saw episode 4, which was what was submitted for the ones who live, she would have gotten a nomination. But yeah. Both Andy and God Loves His Children said both Andy and Denai were strong and top contenders for Variety's list, 13 out of 25 and 17 out of 20. Scarlett Johansson said that one of her favorite characters in the MCU is Okoye, and I tell you, she loves Denai. She and Denai campaigned together for the election, for the last presidential election. Uh, I can't stand the Academy, the way they treated Chadwick, inviting his family only for him not to win. He kept playing historic figures. He should have gotten a nomination. Of course. I agree with you. God's love his children. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, this Hollywood is, again, smile in your face, stab you in your back. Exactly what I've been saying. So when Rashida was saying, or doesn't Denai know, I was like, I don't know if she knows, because in this town they'll smile in your face and stab you in your back. And if you're not that type of person, if that's not the way you behave, you're not thinking another person is going to behave that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, that person is hugging you on set and, you know, talking with you and, you know, acting as if he sees you as in a professional, as a peer. And yet people who are watching the show can pick up that he can't stand not her, the person, but the character she plays. And this is a character that's a good person and loves her love for Rick is good for Rick, yet he hates that that's who Rick is with. Yeah, so I don't know if she sees that, because on set he presents differently to her. You get what I'm saying? But and I don't know if he know about the posters that he had done, the celebration commission, where he left her name out and he put her the what he had his friends draw. It was just, oh, it's nasty. That scene in the throne room with her and Angela, many said she should have gotten a nomination. Like Angela. Yes, I agree. I think I have been saying from day one, Denai deserved a nomination for Black Panther 1. She should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And in Black Panther 2, but I think both her and Angela should be nominated. I think, and can you imagine if her arc wasn't cut out from under her? If she had gotten her full arc as was filmed, as was written by Ryan and was filmed. Can you imagine if Denai had gotten her full arc? So yes, Denai deserved an nomination for Okoye for Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2. I fully believe she deserved it. And this is not my bias speaking. This, I fully believe she deserved the nomination. From a filmmaker's perspective, I do think she deserved it. And she was overlooked. Yeah, I know that Shuri became Black Panther in the comics, but it was a late thing that they did because they wanted to, Marvel wanted to do the Young Avengers, and I think they did it for that purpose so that they could do it in the show. It's not that it happened naturally. You get what I'm saying? And just because it was in the comics doesn't mean it has to be, because Letitia is so slight. She looked good in the Black Panther suit, very light and like a cat, but Black Panther is powerful and strong. Yes, she has the enhanced ability, but again, she's not a warrior. And I just, to me, and she's so funny, she's so charismatic. To me, I don't think I don't buy her. No, that's not the way to put it. That's not a way to put it. It's not, don't buy her. I prefer her as Shuri the scientist and not as the Black Panther. The Black Panther, the you need a stronger lead. When I say a stronger lead, a more like a star. Just as I don't want to get into it in this reaction because I'm going to get long-winded about it. If you can watch my reaction to uh, the Fantastic Four and I explain what I mean. You need stars for like the titular characters, people that could, even the Superman did very well, and the actor played Superman well, but it's not the same as Christopher Reeves to me, who just, I can't explain it. Maybe one of you can say it better for me. To me, she cannot carry such a big movie. She's a great supporting character, but I don't buy her as the the lead for such a juggernaut of a movie. You need a you need a star. You need someone that the camera and the audience. Okay, there's a phrase in Hollywood. This actor gets butts in seat. People will go to see the movie. Denzel is one of them. That people love to watch him on screen and they'll go to the movies to see him. He's a star. Um, Shuri, wonderful actress, beautiful young lady, charismatic, but she's not a star. She's not a butt in seats star. You get what I'm saying? And I just, yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, AMC didn't campaign. So how is she going to get nominated? Because people aren't watching these things unless you're forcing it down their throats. Because there's too much. There's too much to watch. And they're only going to watch the shows they already know. And it's about liking you. So you have to show up and smooze them and, you let them feel like you're getting close to them or whatever. But Denai didn't campaign and AMC did, sorry. Denai didn't campaign and AMC did not campaign. So Rashida keeps saying backstabbers by the OJs from the 70s. Constance said, not surprised about AMC laziness, but I bet you, well, let me shut up. I was going to say, I bet you if they thought somebody else had a chance, they would throw out the red carpet. Yes. Yes, God loves his children, said the first Black Panther as well. You said Sherry should have went through training. Maybe I would have been on board with her being Black Panther. We didn't see her train. But even if she did, the actress doesn't have the physicality. It's the same thing I say about Carol. It doesn't have and I'm not talking the bulkiness or whatever. It's just there's a way that a warrior moves. And she doesn't have it, just like Carol doesn't have it. So it's not believable. You get what I'm saying? So they had to choreograph the fight scenes with her and Namor, and it looked good, but it just was. She's so slight, she doesn't have the warrior body and the warrior skills. I don't buy it. And I love Shuri the scientist. I love Shuri. That's where she's shone. I don't buy her as the Black Panther. God loves his children said, also, I want to see the project Denai and Angela are doing that Angela talked about. Yes, Angela is going to do a reading for one of Denai's plays. Denzel Idris Halle Berry when she was a little younger. I wouldn't say Idris. Idris is handsome and very charismatic on scene, but he doesn't put butts in seats. People don't go to movies to watch him, you know? So they kept talking about the bridge scene with Okoye and Atuma, then Sherry's fight scenes, and that one took 4 months. They said, yes, Denai and Okoye and Atuma fight scene stole the show. Those were warriors fighting. You get what I'm saying? I don't buy it, Shuri and Namor's fight scene was choreographed well, but it wasn't as magnetic as Okoye and Atuma's fight scene because those were two warriors. So you're right, God loves his child. Okay, let's finish. I think we're done with The Walking Dead. He was saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I think. Yeah, we have 1 minute left. Let's finish it up.
The very best one. And you are. It. Anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe. You can blink. You can cry. Hell, you're all gonna be doing that. Taking it like a champ.
This is sadistic. That's terrible. That's just sadistic. That's just awful.
The greatest.
That was just awful, guys. I left that little part to watch, and I wish I just forgot that it was there and finished the live, because that was disgusting. They relished, and that's how they lost half of the Walking Dead's audience. They relished in it. They relished in the gratuitous violence. And that's not entertainment. Entertainment is, we learn, we get informed, we're, it makes us sad, it makes us laugh, it makes us, it's a reflection of the world. But this was gratuitous. It was like, look at this, and we're gonna make it even gross and nasty and make it, just it was relishing in murder. It was being entertained by murder. It wasn't, oh my gosh, he's killed our loved one. It's the way it was directed was a relishing of murder, a relishing of violence, and to make it was violence porn. That's the word. It was violence porn, and it lost a half of the audience of The Walking Dead, and they never returned. And they were right. I only stuck around, and I didn't stick around to watch the rest of the episodes. I just stuck around to hear of Rick and Michonne's scenes. I started watching clips because it was violence porn. The people who are presenting the show to us are feeding our spirits and having us saying this is what they value, and that's what we should be entertained. Don't you love this? Don't you love that? This is the violence. It looks so disgusting and whatever. No, that affects your spirit. Sherry said, yeah, when I mentioned Carol fumbling through the woods in The Walking Dead, she just don't have the look or swagger for badass. Yeah, it's just, I don't buy it. Sherry said, yeah, horrible hearing the blow, so awful. Yeah, they try to give you a first person perspective of what the person being killed was going through. And that's why they relished it and wanted you to experience it, not for how, oh my gosh, this is awful, but oh my gosh, this is so cool. No, that's not entertainment. That's not entertainment. Rashida said hearing it was awful. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm getting hot and I don't want to be stripping in front of you guys. But thank you. This was a long one. We got through it. You helped me to get through it. Thank you so much. I wasn't enjoying it, but I enjoyed talking with you guys. I enjoyed discussing this show and different things. And, I enjoyed it's cold in New York City. Oh my gosh. Can we switch places, Rashida? Yeah, I heard you guys are having a winter storm. Please be safe. Please, please, please be safe. And everyone else, again, thank you so much. I do this because I like discussing things with you. I love your takes. I love what you bring to, I love your intelligence. I love your perspectives. And it makes getting through these episodes 100%, 100 times better. Yeah. I did not enjoy this episode. It was Carol and Morgan meandering, going saying and doing the same things over and over, and Greg Nicotero feeding the audience violence porn. You know, that was disgusting. I don't know how I watched it the first time, and thank you guys for helping me get through this one. So please leave in the comments which the next episode you want me to watch, and hopefully it's not, we don't have to go through boring Carol and more Negan and Saviors. So, and if we do, you guys will help me get over that part. We'll skip those parts because I can't. And anyway, choose the episodes you want me to watch and we'll do it the next time. Thank you guys. Please be safe. Have a great rest of your week. And I'm editing. It's taking me somewhat a time because, as I told you guys, I'm moving, and so I have a lot going on. I was on set today, and plus I've taken care of a lot of stuff, and so I'm editing. I'm working on the Michonne Katana video, Cam J. I'm also doing a series on the relationship between different characters. So I'm doing a short one between Rick, Lori, Shane. Then I'm gonna do Rick Michonne, Rick, Lori. I'm gonna do all kind of relationships, dynamics, and who characters are to each other. I thought that would be a fun little series, and I'm putting it on my new channel. I'm going to be putting them on Patreon first and then a new channel, because the old channel, the views are just not given, and I don't think YouTube is going to partner with me. They've rejected me twice, even though I have the subscribers and the views. They've rejected me twice. So I'm experimenting with a new channel. So check it out. I'll leave the link for it in the comments, and give me some subscription and views if you can. And I only have one thing on it now, but as I go along, I'm gonna start posting more general The Walking Dead stuff, and but mostly a lot of Rick and Michonne stuff, because you know they're my favorite, but a lot of general The Walking Dead stuff. And I'm gonna see if those get more views. If they don't, I give up. I give up. So thanks, guys. Thank you, Rashida. And don't forget also to check out Cam J's channel, The Stories I Missed. Cam J, put your link in the comments so that people can see. And Cam J and I may be doing The Ones Who Live Together. So looking forward to that. And I'll maybe, if the new channel does well, we can do the reaction for that on the new channel, Cam J. Thank you, Cam J. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon. Next week, Friday again. If not, I'll leave a message telling you when, if it's postponed. Bye, everyone.